we're gonna do some fun stuff. I was talking to some of my staff members today at work, talking about some stuff I found out when adventure shopping. So I was at this Middle Eastern grocery store and I found some puff pastry little sheets. We're gonna have a little fun with these today. Usually you buy puff pastry at the grocery store and it's this big long roll-out things. You gotta cut them all up. So I was like, these are really cool. So thaw some of these out. I used to make these little, I call them meat pies, but it was just some ground turkey, hell, it used to be frozen veggies. Today it's gonna be some potatoes and red onions, a little bit of turmeric and some other spices, and it'll be a little curried meat pie. I also bought a little fresh basil pesto. We might be able to do some little tarts. Just gonna see where it takes us today. This is fun, very, very simple food to make at home. Kids love it because puff pastry, if you don't know what puff pastry is, it's basically a croissant dough shell. So it gets nice and buttery and flaky, and how that rises is it's all these layers of flour, water, butter, flour, water, butter, and every time you fold it and create another layer, the butter in there, when it melts, steams and it rises, and that's why it puffs up so big. So it's a lot of fun to bake with, fun to make stuff with. Gonna get all the stuff ready, I'll be right back. So what I've got, I got about a pound of ground turkey, beef, turkey, you can do whatever you want. And then I've diced up some red onions, some red jalapenos, and about that much ginger. I diced that up. I par cooked off some new potatoes, red potatoes, whatever you want to call them. And then we're going to start off by putting a little bit of garlic oil that I made. Remember I make this in the pan. It's going to be a heavily seasoned dish. We're going to get that going. I've already got that coming up. And then we're just going to brown the meat and we're going to do that. And we'll be back as soon as that's brown. Okay, we browned the meat, we set it down the side. Awesome. Now we're going to throw in my onions, ginger, jalapenos. Probably going to clear my sinuses with that. Woo! Get that little fry up. Soften them up a little bit. Woo! I was right, that's opening me up already. Fortunately, there's not a Vinahood over here on the island when we're doing a show. So it's up a little bit to our already cooked potatoes in there. Get that flavor mixed together really well with them. Starting to smell like hash browns for breakfast now. Gonna have to be not tempted to pop an egg in there. So, some red jalapenos, I had those sit around. This is ginger root. They make a lot of stuff out of it. It's great. This is great to cure an upset stomach. Always have ginger around the house. Make some ginger tea. Okay. See that browning up? We're gonna put our meat back in. Sizzle, sizzle, there we go. Okay. What did I say? Add a teaspoon of turmeric. That's the stuff that makes a curry kind of orange, maybe a little more. There we go. Little black pepper. About a teaspoon. Half teaspoon of salt. Don't be afraid of salt. And then I'm going to put a little sucker. About a half a teaspoon, maybe a little more, of cumin. Like I said, I don't have a recipe. Just kind of going by touch, sight. Remember, cooking is supposed to be fun. Experiment, have a good time. Ooh, that smells awesome. Now it's coming together, all the color. Remember when you're browning your meat and you're doing stuff like that, making tacos? You brown the meat, you add the seasoning, and then if you need to, add a little water. It'll help move your spices around a little bit. And then you'll have all that seasoning there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to dehydrate the water back out. And all that spice will melt together on all your meat and all your veggies. Real even. My mom taught me that off of McCormick's Taco Spice Pack when I was a little kid. Made lots of mistakes by doing it backwards in my life. Remember, for every time you cook something great, you probably failed 15 or 20 times in trying to do the same thing if you didn't have a recipe and you just like to experiment. We go, put our spices away. That's cooking down. I'm cleaning up a little bit. You can start seeing the water is disappearing, the fluid, the liquid. You don't want to dry it out too much, so I'm turning the heat off, unplug it. Now, if you don't want to do curry, you don't want to do cumin, you can make these taco pies. You can make these sweet potato pies. You can make these, hell, you can even make them pasta pies with a little marinara and some meatballs inside. It's really fun to just kind of do what you want to do. So, it's a great thing about cooking. It doesn't have to be a certain way. Don't get stuck in a box. So you're just going to take a little bit of meat and you're going to put it in the pie. Can you see that? Little meat in a pie. That's about enough. About a spoonful. I got a whole shit ton, don't I? You know. Looks like it was too much. Yay! You're just going to crimp that down. A little fork here. Tuck that little sucker back in there. So just crimp it down. There you go. Real simple. All right. One down. A little more. Wasn't that easy? Put potatoes in there. And just go. Now I preheated the oven to 400 degrees. It's got all bougie on me and said 210 degrees centigrade. So I had to go look that damn thing up. Because school's a long time ago and I don't remember the conversions. Son of a bitch, that's hot. But it was tasty. Thing about puff pastry dough, you can't let it get too soft, because it is a beast to work with if it's super thawed. You kind of have to work with it from, get it as cold as you can without freezing it. There you go, and I'm just going to make a little. You notice, it doesn't take a lot. Alright, last thing before I put them in the oven, if you really want these to be super shiny, you're going to wash them with egg whites with a little brush. I don't feel like doing it, maybe the next one. Okay guys, I just pulled them out of the oven. You see how they puffed up, that looks so gorgeous. Alright, nice little snack time around the house. You don't have to keep these hot all the time. You can let them sit around a couple hours at room temperature. They'll be just fine. Pop them in the toaster. Do not microwave these. For the love of Christ. Don't microwave them. They'll get really nasty and doughy. But I will cut one open for you. Let you see what it looks like. There we go. Look at all that flaky puff pastry. Next time I like wash them, they'll look a little prettier. Remember, we're just having fun after work today. Little meat pies, pastry. This is Feed Your Brother. Might do another episode this week with keeping them flat, make some flat tarts. Maybe a little pesto. I got some fresh mozzarella in the fridge. We got these gorgeous fresh tomatoes on the vine at the store. Love when the market looks nice. See you soon. Please like, subscribe, send it to your friends. Remember, kids will love this. Puff pastry, filled with meat. Remember, you can do it any way you want. Make it a pasta sauce, marinara, fill it full of cheese. Who cares? Just have fun, cook it in the kitchen. Goodbye.